Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Black Knight 94. I mean Smalls of Black Knight 94. And this is the Chapter 22 review of Dragon Ball Super's manga. Now, before I get into it, I'm just going to say we got a crap ton of new differences from how this went in the anime. And I know it's been extremely controversial. Some people say it's random, some people understand, some people are happy Vegeta got a Super Saiyan God form. I'm just going to go into the review. Tune in for the end for more of that crap at the very end, okay? But for now, let's just get into the chapter in its own. And also, tell me in the comments below what you guys think of Vegeta's Super Saiyan God form. But let's get on to the nitty-gritty. First big difference is that Gowasu isn't dead. It wasn't really a change. It's more like saving himself from a change. But, sensus exist. As long as Goku Black missed the vitals, Gowasu can live. On the other hand, it is one of the first times we've seen our Supreme Kai leap into action in quite some time. Which is nice to see, because he's been more of a background character. Although, Zamasu is more than enough, to take care of him in one kick. But, yeah, he definitely isn't that strong. Although, with the old Frieza, what was it called? How they tried to say that the Supreme Kais at that time were equal to Frieza back in the Buu arc. Doesn't really stand up now. Especially since Frieza's way stronger, but I digress. Anyway, Gowasu has been saved, and Trunks decides to play hero for a little bit. Alright, so be it. So, some big changes from the anime would be, taking away of Mai's time to shine in a form of a Bulma-made superhuman killing bullet. Which I thought was a nice touch in the anime. I guess it wasn't really necessary when you think of it now. And just goes to show how vague Toriyama's outline was. But on top of that, we also get to see, other stuff. Plus, Goku and Vegeta come back just in time to save Trunks from getting his ass whooped. Fine. So, that's all said and done. But now everything's been put into one big battle. Except the Mafuba. The Mafuba is still a thing. But before he can do that, he decides to go save Gowasu and take Trunks and the Supreme Kai out of the area. And in the meantime, Vegeta shows off his Super Saiyan God form. Now, his Super Saiyan God form is used for a to sporadically boost into Super Saiyan Blue and not have the stamina drain. I'll go into that deeper at the very end of the review. We're getting to the discussion part. But going on, Black can't tell what's going on at first, so he's just getting his ass handed to him. Left, right, up, down. He's just getting manhandled by Vegeta. And whatever training he did in the Room of Spirit and Time, it paid the fuck off. Paid off real well. They're just going at it. Toyotarou really knows how to draw his action scenes. Just 3 or 4 pages worth of amazing frigging action. Like non-stop. Toyotarou really knows his shit. And because of Vegeta's, ploy, he has the upper hand for the majority of the fight. And Black is still trying to find out what's going on, and Vegeta's just taunting him like, salty that you're losing to Super Saiyan God, Mr. Rose? Oh, that was beautiful, the taunting. But then we go back to the Supreme Kais, Goku, Mai, and Trunks. So, everyone's made it so far. Gowasu has been revived by the Senzu Bean, something he didn't know existed. So he is quite happy. And they have one bean left. Who are they going to use it on? Not entirely sure. But Goku's like, that won't be a problem as long as I take care of Black and seal away Zamasu. And Trunks, was like, oh, you mastered the Mafuba? And he more or less did. But Goku is Goku, and there is always something there. Before he can actually go into it, though, Vegeta ends up knocking Goku Black into the area. And then we realize Trunks has never seen Super Saiyan God before. So Goku goes into the explanation on that is the transformation before Blue. Remember that for the discussion at the end. But, yes, that's when Goku tells us this is what Vegeta figured out. While Super Saiyan Blue provides a huge burst of power, it can't be maintained for long periods of time. In that regard, the God form gives a better balance without exhausting your stamina quickly. And in the very instant that he attacks, Vegeta switches to Blue. And that is more or less, word for word, the manga stream translation of Goku's, explanation to Trunks. Word for word translation. So, yeah. By conserving Blue's power, he's able to maximize it by instantly releasing it in an explosion of power. And that's pretty darn good. Many people have likened this to a Kaioken burst, and I didn't exactly think about what they were talking about at first, but it makes sense when you think back to the Frieza arc, the Namek arc, or Frieza Saga, whichever you like to call it. Back then, Goku would mostly just burst out the Kaioken right before impact to try to make the most of his fight against Frieza. And that was actually working really well. But he also used it against Hit somewhat, but he only did it once. He only went Blue once. So, yeah. And then finally Black figures out you've been secretly transforming like a filthy rat in the shadows. Now, you guys, I'm quoting the actual translations just so you guys know exactly what was said and not some vagueness, so you guys will be on the same page when we get to the discussion. Of course, at this point, Zamasu, future Zamasu, kicks Vegeta out of the way, and he tries to team up on him. Thankfully, Goku steps in with the Mafuba, and, Vegeta then takes Black away before he can realize what's going on, because he does stare at the pot for a bit, and realizes that something is fishy. However, there's one little thing that kind of got me confused. Why did Goku turn to Super Saiyan Blue just to use the Mafuba? That probably expended more stamina than just using the Mafuba from the beginning. And while I go into this, because there wasn't a whole bunch of other, crap like trying to protect Bulma and Mai, or Bulma even having to distract Zamasu. I forgot that was actually a interesting part of the anime. There's none of that. Goku just goes straight in and uses the Mafuba. And it works. There was no pot being destroyed. No need for it to be put back together. Goku goes in. It succeeds. And him and Trunks tie it up together. So Trunks did have some involvement. Yay. But we realize that what he put on wasn't a talisman. It was the Plump and Perky Club 50% off coupon that Master Roshi, I'm guessing, was saving for a rainy day. Oopsie. Damn. Well, it looks like he won't get to that half-off coupon for the Karabek Club. And again, you shouldn't be going to a Karabek Club, you filthy old pervert. Either way, Zamasu pops right back out, and Goku's like, well, I think we're screwed. So yeah, Vegeta realized that, yep, that guy's a fucking moron, and he would fuck it up. And, Goku's like, fuck it, I don't care, I guess a technique like that just doesn't suit me. And transforms into Super Saiyan God, which Trunks is surprised at. But, as we could guess from the added use of Super Saiyan Blue in the Mafuba, and not just the fact that the Mafuba normally drains so much stamina, it has killed Master Roshi in the past. So if he goes blue now, his body definitely won't be able to endure it. Nice twist, nice save, I guess, although a little bit unnecessary on the blue half, but whatever. And you can tell it was blue because of the aura. If you look closely, it has that same kind of liquid-like aura pop up instead of the lightning-like auras of the original Super Saiyans. Plus the shading. Put two and two together, you got Super Saiyan Blue. But, aside from that, Goku then proceeds to manhandle Zamasu in God form. Unlike Vegeta, who is using bursts to match Super Saiyan Rose. Goku doesn't need to. Zamasu might be immortal, but as long as you stay away from the paralyzation and constantly keep him on guard, plus with the, stamina-saving benefits of Super Saiyan God alone, Zamasu really doesn't have much of a chance, and that kind of hits him in the gut a lot. Like, not just, physically, but, like, emotionally. And he actually tries to fight with, Black for a little bit. He's like, you never said anything about something like this happening. And he's like, if we team up, we'll be able to turn all the universes into exactly how we want them to be. That's what you told me, isn't it? Word for word. Word for word. That being said, word for word, there is no mention of a Zero Mortal plan, but so be it. So be it. And he also says that if you're not the strongest being in the existence to Black, then that whole plan goes to shit. Yes, he used the S word. That god has a dirty mouth. But yeah, that falling out, Vegeta's taking his time, putting his hand up like, oh, would the two of you like to be killed by me while you're bickering? Or would you rather kill each other off? The choice is yours. Yeah, Vegeta, you might not have the mercy Goku has, but you sure do have a weird way of twisting certain, It's pretty damn similar, except more fitting of his character. Like, it's not mercy, it's more like torture. It more fits him. Kind of like what he did with Frieza in the Resurrection F movie. I didn't watch the Resurrection arc of this, Dragon Ball Super. So sue me. But, yeah. Their last resort, fusion. And now Merged Zamasu has joined the fray. I'm not sure if it's just me, but doesn't the face look a little bit different? Like, I feel like the anime's version looked a little bit more like Goku Black, but just green. But this one looks more like Zamasu. And I'm hoping it's green, because, it is what it is. But either way, let's see how this plays out. I am assuming that this will, be wrapped up in the next chapter. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty a little bit quickly, actually. We're already like 12 minutes in. But people think that, some people, not all, thankfully. I don't think this, but some people would say that having Super Saiyan God be given to Vegeta is a little bit fan servicey. One retort that most people could give, and I'm sort of okay with, but I don't like to nitpick, is that both the manga and the anime do seem to have a lot of fan servicey moments regardless, and this would just be like one of many. And yeah, I can kind of agree. Hell, even Toei has managed to figure out what some fans want. But that's more in the slice of life episodes than the actual, plot-based ones, like Yamcha and stuff like that. Those kind of things. They understood. And it makes me a little bit sad. Like, why couldn't they just stick with the slice of life series? Then again, I don't like the idea of almost everything being filler. But then again, what's canon at this point? Either way, we don't know exactly how Vegeta got Super Saiyan God. Did he use the ritual? Is there another way to get Super Saiyan God without the ritual? It's not like they couldn't do the ritual. I mean, they still have everybody. And it'd be a little weird. They could still technically do it. There's nothing that could say they couldn't. But at the same time, some people think Whis is training. Some people go back to the Whis' training episodes in Super, which I may remind you are not only filler, but on top of that, neither the manga or anime actually correlate with each other to begin with. Further example being, we probably, hopefully we do, but probably won't see Vegeta go Super Saiyan God in the anime ever. Toei doesn't seem to be into the idea of Super Saiyan God itself. Fine. They want to stick with the ritual thing because Toriyama never exactly specified, and if he did, they just ignored it. We don't know. We don't have the notes in front of us. And honestly, I'm fine with it. Because you shouldn't be able to get to Super Saiyan, Blue without going Super Saiyan God first in the first place. That was always something that felt off to me. But like I said, that's literally just me. I'm not entirely sure what you guys feel about this, you know? So, tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. If I missed anything, which I always do, please also tell me in the comments below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And for those of you who aren't new, whether you're subscribers or just, you know, casual goers that have watched my videos a few times, you might have noticed I got a little bit of an upgrade in my editing. So yes, reviews and the like will now have the actual panels and stuff in them. Sparingly, of course. You know, don't want to get too far in for copyright reasons. But I will be going back to my manga recommendations, something which I've seen a lot of people watching more recently. They never really had much of a gathering. But with the recent resurgence of one-shots and such, I will be going back to those. So, once again, thank you guys for joining me. I am Smalls of Black94. Like, comment, subscribe. I already said that. But check out my official media. Twitter, Twitch, and the Facebook page, which has no love right now. A mere 8 likes. At least the Twitter is going a little bit well. The Twitch, not so much. So look at the Twitch as well. Everything is in the description down below. And maybe I'll make some more discussion videos if you guys would like. Also be making more Attack on Titan discussions, because those are the big ones. So, thank you. See you next time. Peace.